are always going to be this going through this cycle. Somebody, somebody will be happy, somebody will be distressed. For example, most of us are not happy because our salaries have been cut. Some of you are in part time, so we are not happy. So there was one lady who was working with me in a project. So she was part time, so we got her into the project for some time. She was with her for 2-3 weeks. She was part time and she was not very enthusiastic. क्या कर रहे हैं? कुछ तो काम कर रहे हैं, right? But then today she got a full time project and she was really happy. I said, Rasika, what happened? I got a full time project. So she's happy. So now, what Rasika a few weeks was, very morose. नहीं project नहीं मिला है, salary पूरा नहीं मिल रहा है. And today she's happy, full time, वापस salary मिलेगा. So that's the way life is, right? Some of us are morose because हमारा salary cut हो गया. There are some people in other companies, especially in banks and companies who deal with banks, उनका कुछ नहीं हुआ. Right? They are normal. Like my brother-in-law in UK just reported saying his salary is not deducted, he is normal, right? So now, but today that is the case. Tomorrow you might be happy, you might get a salary increase. Tomorrow in the sense, some time back, but somebody else might go through a job loss or whatever it is, right? So this is a cycle, based upon what we have done. So you might say कि ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है? हमको ही दुख क्यों है, किसी और को क्यों नहीं है? Because this is all to do with our last lives. Last life you have done something because of which we are getting it. Very simple, correct? Whatever you are getting is because of you. Don't think, Swati might be thinking, नहीं मेरे बॉस के कारण मुझे हो रहा है, जो CEO है कंपनी का उसने सबका सैलरी नहीं. There's nobody to blame. Here it is basically the nature is doing it, and nature is doing it only to few people because we have done something in our past life. स्वाति ने कुछ किया है इसलिए उसका सैलरी कट है, आनंद पाटिल ने कुछ किया है इसलिए उसका सैलरी कट है, correct? It's exactly like that. Don't think कि मेरे साथ कुछ unfair treatment हो रहा है. No, the nature will never treat you unfairly. Whatever you have done, आप ही को मिलना है और किसी को नहीं मिलेगा. Don't think कि नहीं मैंने बुरा काम किया नहीं है फिर मुझे क्यों मिल रहा है. No, you don't know because in the past life who knows what you have done. So whatever you are getting, it is because of your own karma. Don't ever think कि नहीं मेरे साथ नाइंसाफी क्यों हो रही है. No. Even if your boss is not good, even if your colleague is not good, customer is not good, it is because of you. You have done something in the past life, that's why you're getting it. If you understand this philosophy, you will be the happiest person in the world. You will never cry for anything. You'll always think, this is what I am actually deserve. Because I've done something in the past life. I don't know what I've done, but मेरे कारण ही आ रहा है. Because the nature's law is, ऐसे बोलता है ना, भगवान की चक्की जो पिसती है, धीरे पिसती है, कर्म की चक्की. बट पिस्ती जरूर है. इसका मतलब जो भी हमने छोटा मोटा किया सब वापस मिलने वाला है. अच्छा किया अच्छा मिलेगा, बुरा किया बुरा मिलेगा, करेक्ट? But you are going to get it, right? So don't ever, you should never ever cry on anything. नहीं मुझे मिला नहीं. No point. It is because of us. So what should we do? Better look at future. Better look at future saying कि आज मैं अच्छा काम करूँ. अच्छा काम करूँगा मतलब क्या? भगवान का नाम लो. भगवान का नाम लोगे, भगवद गीता पढ़ोगे, you will have a bright future. ऑफिस का काम करोगे तो फिर भी रहेगा, but that is only temporary, right? We are talking about something permanent, correct? Imagine if you had a permanent bank account, imagine if you had a permanent education, even in the next life you can continue. ऐसा हो सकता है क्या? अभी तो नहीं हो सकता. But I'm saying if you do spiritual activities, you will have permanent account where it will be credited, and you will be able to use it next time, right? So if you do good activities, especially God-centric, then you will get the credit next time. And gradually you will come to a stage where you can go back to where you came from. वहाँ पे there is no miseries, there is no trouble. You might be saying ऐसे कभी हो सकता है क्या? Hey, you don't know because you have not read books. If you read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, all the different scriptures, they talk about it. Right? Brahmaji himself has written a Brahma Samhita which talks about the spiritual world, where there is no miseries. It is called Vaikuntha. Kuntha means miseries. Vai means there is no miseries. Miseries is only in this material world. Right? So we have to go back to where we came from. Then only we will have no miseries at all. Otherwise, in this world, we will continuously be driven from the cycle of miseries. Right? अबे आज खुशी है, कल मिजरी है, कल मिजरी है, परसों खुशी है, like that. So Krishna is saying here, this non-permanent appearance of happiness destiny. Non-permanent means temporary. आज है कल नहीं है, कल है परसों नहीं है, like that, right? Sukha dukkha is temporary. So he is saying their disappearance in due course are like appearance and disappearance of winter and summer. the way seasons come, winter comes, summer comes, rainy season comes, they continuously go. ऐसा कभी नहीं होता कि इस rainy नहीं है, rain season नहीं है, summer नहीं है. They are continuously going to come. Similarly, सुख दुख आएंगे. We never ask for distress, but it comes. Similarly, even sukha will also come to you, even if you don't ask for it, because आपका जो कोटा है आपको मिलने ही वाला है, right? Okay. So one thing Krishna is saying is tolerate this. He is saying, yeah, this is because of sense perception. Sense perception मतलब क्या? Because we think our mind and our body, we think, oh, this I am this body. मुझे अभी ठंड लग रहा है, मुझे गर्म हो रहा है. Because we are assuming I am this body. That's why we are getting this, right? A person who doesn't, who's in the soul platform, spiritual platform, उसको body के लिए कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता, correct? Like that's why you can see, great yogis, they are not, they don't, all these things don't affect them, correct? Sense perception is primary because we are thinking I'm this body, like that, right? Now, definitely we have to tolerate this. There's no other option, correct? But there are three different level of tolerance. Right? Let's try to understand. One is to understand कि ये temporary है. आज दुख है ना, कल जाएगा ये, पक्का जाएगा, right? You कल ऑफिस आया तो परसों जाएगा, right? It will all depend upon, as I said, whatever we have done in the past. So you have to tolerate it. There's no option, right? Second is we have to understand that this is because of my karma. First is we have to understand it is temporary. Second, we have to understand this is because of me. मेरे कारण मुझे मिल रहा है. There is no other reason, right? That's why it's called karma. Third is it is God's plan. ये भगवान का plan है, right? Like I'll narrate a story to you. One time there was a king, and he had a minister, and the king, the minister used to always tell, जो भी होता है अच्छे के लिए होता है. महाराज जो भी होता है अच्छे के लिए होता है. The king will always trust him. क्या तो हमेशा बोलता है जो भी होता है अच्छे के लिए होता है. ऐसे थोड़ी होता है. So one time the king was, practicing sword fighting with his soldiers, and he got a cut and he lost one of his fingers. And the minister was just standing beside him, and the king said, "Oh, मेरा finger, मेरा ungli कट गया." And the minister is like, "Maharaj, जो भी होता है अच्छे के लिए होता है." And then the king was outraged. He said, "What? I have tolerated you for so long, but now I can't tolerate. My finger is cut, and how can you say whatever happens is for the good? Get out from my eyes." And he hired the soldiers, arrest him and put him in the jail. And then the king, he was very, very outraged. And after some days, he went for hunting with his soldiers. He was hunting for a long, long time, and he got lost in the forest. And the soldiers went somewhere else. He went somewhere else, and he was very thirsty and hungry. So there were some tribal people who caught the king, and they took him towards one place. And they said, "Sardar, आपके लिए हम एक बहुत अच्छा तोहफा लाए हैं." And they were tribal people who wanted to kill this king so that they can please Kali, right? So they wanted to, what we call Narabali. They wanted to do Narabali. So they looked at the king and they said, "Very good. You are a very good person. Now we'll kill him in front of Kali, and Kali will be very happy with us." So they were about to do that when the chief said, hold on. Just check if the king, if this person, they didn't know he was a king. Just check if the person has got all his body parts intact." So they checked. And they found his finger missing. He said, "नहीं सरदार, बाकी सब ठीक है, but उंगली missing है." तो सरदार, अरे यार, हम नहीं दे सकते इसको, because Kali needs fully perfect body. उसको छोड़ दो. And they left him, and how with lot of difficulty the king came back to his palace. And while he was coming back, he was contemplating, क्या हुआ मेरे साथ, and how did I get saved? And then he realized it was because what the minister said. If his finger was not cut, he would not have been alive. He went back to his palace. He asked the minister to be relieved, and he immediately said to minister, "Hey, देखो मेरे साथ क्या हुआ और मैं बच गया तुम्हारे कारण." But the minister said, "देखा, मैंने बोला ना कि जो भी होता है अच्छे के लिए होता है." But the king said, "I don't understand one thing. मेरा तो ऐसे हुआ, but what about you? You had to go in jail for so many days. What happened to you? How do you say for you it was good?" And the minister said, "Maharaj, just think about it. If I had not said that, then you would not have pulled me in the jail. And if I was not in jail, I would have come with you. And if I had come with you, I would have, instead of you, I would have been kidnapped. I would have been taken as the bully. So whatever happens, it happens for the good. So actually, that is the case, and I have actually experienced it many times, right? Like one story I can definitely tell you. I did my CDAC course in 1998 after my home, and then uh, I was looking for a job. I got a job in Tata. It was called Tata Infosys. Not Tata. Forget the name now. So there was a Tata company, Tata Infotech. Tata Infotech. Right? You might not even know the name. That company is now merged into TCS. And I was very happy. I was in Bangalore at the time, and then I came back to Pune because they gave me the position in Pune, and I was about to join the company in a few days after my medical. And in my medical, the doctor found something in my heart. He said, "You have a hole from your childhood, so that is a problem. So we can't actually take you in the company." And I escalated matter, this, that, nothing. They actually said, "You cannot come because of our rules." And then I was morose. I became so despondent. Kya ho gaya? And then I was looking for another job for about 3-4 months, and then I later got another job, Canbreak, which is now called Capgemini. And I was working in Pune. And then later, after a year, I got to know all my friends who had got a job in Tata Infotech. They had no work for about 2 years. No project came. They were sitting idle and doing nothing. Vela. Some people gave their TOEFL, GRE, and they went to US studying. Right? But their 2 years were literally actually wasted. But in that 2 years, I was working in Canbay, and I was getting a salary and I was enjoying. Then I realized, I was actually lamenting that I lost my job, but by God's grace, actually I got a better job because I got a better salary and I was able to do work on projects so that I could actually continue with my experience, right? Like that, in many times this happens in your life. You are not able to understand at that point of time. Right? And that's why we are always lamenting. Correct? Now that doesn't mean that if something happens, you're not supposed to do something about it. You try your best, but don't lament. That is not going to be useful. Right? So you have to get out of it. Right? That's what Krishna is saying. So Krishna is saying distress is temporary. So distress is temporary. So you have to tolerate it. But then Krishna also is saying you have to tolerate happiness. Tolerate happiness means what? So now you have to tell me which is what do you mean by tolerating happiness? You can give me an example, or you can tell me what do you mean by tolerating happiness. Then we'll see. So distress tolerate करना तो समझ सकते हैं कि दुख हो गया तो सहन करो उसको. But सुख को सहन करना मतलब क्या? Anybody? You can type it in the chat window or unmute your lines. Either ways. What do you mean by tolerating happiness? Anybody? Whatever comes to your mind. All of us have got experience of tolerating, distress. But what about happiness?
So if you are too happy, that also can be very stressful because you are not able to handle that happiness.
Correct. Yes, very good.
Yeah.
Correct?
So basically, you don't know. You have got some too much money, for example, but you don't know how to spend it, and then somebody robs it. So
yes. In fact, I had an example. One person, got a lottery. He had bought a lottery, and somebody came and gave me the news. Hey, you won the lottery for 1 crore. So, wow! And in that surge of happiness, he died. He had a heart attack and he died. Couldn't handle that. Right? One time there was a family in Harapsar. They had a farm there. They were doing farming there, and at that time there was an opportunity for them to sell the land and get a lot of money. They were average people with some land or some house, doing normal average job. So then when they sold the land, they got a lot of money, crores and crores. And suddenly when the money came in the home, everybody became very, very happy. And they started doing things which they did not do in their life. They started buying mobiles, laptops, this and that. And in that, one of the child, he was a teen, he started spending money like anything. And he used to take thousands and thousands of rupees from home and spend it and come back. And again ask for money. And what the parents realized was, this child is actually going astray. he is actually spending money and he bigad raha hai bachcha mera. He came to the extent when the mother would not give money, he would take the knife and he would challenge the mother कि पैसा दो नहीं तो मार डालूंगा अभी. That is how you should do. So the parents were thinking, यार ये लड़के को हमने we did not get a child, that's why we asked for a child from God, and the same child is becoming a trouble for us, right? So the happiness they could not control, they could not actually, it actually created a problem. पहले पैसा नहीं था, they didn't have money, all of them were peaceful, but because of the money, they now became, there was so much anxiety in the home, so they could not handle happiness, right? Because there was so much money. Right? Similarly, we still see the story of Indra. Indra is the king of the entire 3 worlds, and he actually sits on an elephant. His procession goes on an elephant, Airavat, and everybody worships him. They sing song, they put garland. But one day, Brahaspati, so he was sitting in his assembly, and he was enjoying the dance and everything, and he was drinking somaras. And many Gandharvas and many Apsaras were dancing, and he was enjoying. And he's supposed to be the king, so he's accepting the service. But then Brahaspati, his guru came, and generally it is a etiquette that if the guru comes, you have to get up, show respect, and ask the guru to sit. But Indra was so much intoxicated in the pride of being a king, he looked at the guru and did not do anything. He did not worship him, he did not respect him, nothing. He just sat there thinking कि कौन आया, मैं तो यहाँ का राजा हूँ, मुझे कौन क्या कर सकता. And then Brahaspati understood, this person has got pride. He's got the pride of wealth. He's got the pride of power. He immediately left the chambers, the assembly, and he disappeared. And when Indra saw, in a split of a second, he understood what he had done. He immediately got down from his throne and went to beg forgiveness. But by that time, Brahaspati had actually disappeared. And Indra actually lost all his opulence because of that offense. Right? So many times we cannot actually handle happiness. Right? But you would have seen this, when people become very happy, they get a lot of money or they get a lot of things. They generally also, they forget their friends. They'll not even look into their friends. They're thinking, nahi, kaun hai? Like that. So generally, happiness is more difficult to tolerate. Distress, you might say, nahi yaar, ye to aata hi rehta hai, duniya ka riwaj hi hai. But happiness, when you get, you cannot control yourself, and it's very difficult to tolerate the distress. Right? Okay, now I got another question for you, very interesting. Now, as I said, this is the body, which is called a gross body. Then you have got a subtle body, which is mind, intelligence, and ego. Right? And then there is a soul. Right? So let's say I'm eating a gulab jamun, correct? And I am eating and I'm enjoying. Right? Now, in this case, who is enjoying? Is it the hands? Is it my mouth? Is it my mind? Or is it my body? So there are three things which you can enjoy. Either the body, which is the senses and everything, or the mind. The mind is thinking, wow, gulab jamun kya mast hota hai. Right? Because it's all in the mind. Some people like Karela, some people don't. Some people like Karela so much, wow, kya mast Karela bana. And some I don't like it. So it's also in the mind as well. So the mind is thinking, this is so nice, gulab jamun, and eating. And the soul also is there. So who is enjoying here? Is it the mind? Is it the body? Or is the soul? When you're enjoying and when you're in distress, who is experiencing this? You have to answer. Okay, Devendra is saying body is enjoying. Okay, Ashwin is saying mind. Any other answers? We've got 3 options to give: mind, body, and soul. Who is enjoying here? Okay, Rishikesh is saying body. Okay, who was that? Okay, Murnal said body. Body cannot enjoy unless mind gives the permission. Okay, so Ashwin is saying, let's say mind and body both. Okay, any other answers? Swati, Saibi, Namrata, both Saibis.
Anand, I say none.
Swati is saying none. Nobody is enjoying. So then who is enjoying?
Yes, like it is just the desire that is getting cooled down.
Desire is pulled down. Okay. Kamal is saying soul. Ashwin is saying ego. Okay. Namrata
Is it
very
not together all because body feels it? That's why mind and
yes.
soul
Namrata
can
is saying
enjoy it. So
okay. Namrata is saying together. Okay. Both Shaili is saying Shaili Suryavanshi is saying mind. Okay. Shaili Patil. I think she is last. What do you think, Shaili Patil? Okay. So I think that's good enough. So let's try to understand this. I'll ask you some more questions now. Okay. Now, if you understand the philosophy of soul, if you understand that the energy which the body is getting is from the soul, it is the body in itself doesn't have anything, right? Because when the soul leaves the body, the body is dead. And when a person is dead, what is happening is that the soul is leaving the body, which means the body is inherently dead. उसमें कोई जीवन नहीं है. So I'll give you an example. Let's say this pencil. I've got this pencil in front of me. Okay? Now this pencil is actually dead in itself. If nobody lifts it, nobody uses it. It's of no use. But if I start writing it, I can write a number of pages and pages. Similarly, this body is by default dead. उसमें कुछ है ही नहीं. Unless the soul is there, this body can't do anything. Right? So actually, the body cannot enjoy because the body is dead. By default, it is dead. Right? That's one thing. Second thing is mind is subtle. Mind को तो दिखता भी नहीं. Correct? Again, the mind cannot function without the soul. So the mind also cannot enjoy because mind को तो touch भी नहीं कर रहा है. The gulab jamun is not touching the mind. तो mind तो enjoy कर ही नहीं रहा. तो mind भी नहीं कर रहा. Now soul is spiritual. Soul is not material. What you are eating is gulab jamun is material. Soul को तो touch भी नहीं कर रहा हो. Actually soul भी नहीं enjoy कर रहा है. So who is enjoying? Like some of you said, I think Namrata said and Swati said nobody is enjoying. Namrata said it is a combination. Ashwini said body and mind combination. Right? So it's none. Correct? Now, so the point is, who is enjoying? कौन enjoy कर रहा है फिर भी? जैसे मैंने बताया, the body is dead, the mind is matter, it is also dead in one sense without the soul, and the soul is not matter, so the soul is also not enjoying. So who is enjoying it? That is the question. Interesting, na? At one level, the body is not enjoying. At one level, the senses are not enjoying, right? Because senses in the body is dead. The mind is also dead without the soul. Soul is not matter. So soul is also not enjoying. So who is enjoying? So the real answer is it's between Namrata's answer and okay. Tilottama is asking what is the question. I am not in meeting, but would like
Anand,
to answer.
Rishikesh here.
Yes, Rishikesh.
I know we have already established the fact that body doesn't have anything, but the case over here which we are discussing, that after eating an gulab jamun, who is enjoying the most? So we can say that why body is enjoying, because neither mind nor soul is going to interact with that gulab jam, but body is going to interact with that gulab jam, and we get, brain gives the signal that that's your favorite dish.
Okay,
So
let's take an
ultimately
example.
body is enjoying.
Yeah, I'll counteract that. Let's say Rishikesh, one of your friends, some ex-friends, he loses his job. Let's say, we'll not name him, so some imaginary friend. He loses his job. And you meet him the next day and you are happy because you got a promotion. And you say, "Ye lo yaar, gulab jamun, main khush hu, I got a promotion." And he's looking at that gulab jamun. He likes the gulab jamun and he's eating it. He's not told you the reason. Do you think he's enjoying? His mind is actually morose. Mind मन एकदम खिल्ली है. अरे यार जॉब गया मेरा. तू क्या गुलाब जामुन खिला रहा है भैया? मेरा जॉब गया है. क्या खा सकता? Even if he eats the gulab jamun, even if it is tasty, he is not enjoying it. Why? Because the mind is morose.
Yeah, but in this case, mind overpowered what the brain is thinking.
Correct. That's the point. That's the point I'm trying to make. Correct. So actually, in actuality,
the point. Sorry. But sir, still the body is like enjoying the gulab jamun, right?
Because body dead है ना. हमने पहले ही.
Sir,
no, we are establishing that
the
mind
person
will convey the brain that you should not enjoy it, but body is doing
Exactly.
it so that he is enjoying. It is enjoying that gulab jam.
Yeah.
No.
I have different
Let
thoughts
me-
because
Yes, Nimrata.
yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. Rishikesh, what he said is halfway correct, but it's a signal because of that feeling, body is not able to enjoy. So again, I feel it's a combination.
Yes. So let me try to explain again. Right? It's very important to understand that the body is by default dead. By default dead means unless and until the soul is there, the body cannot be there. Which means by default the body cannot enjoy its own. For example, if there's a dead body and you give gulab jamun to dead body, gulab jamun kuch enjoy nahi kar sakta. Right? Although the taste is there in gulab jamun, the person is the same, usko bhi jiwaha hai, tongue hai, usko bhi sab kuch, but he's not able to enjoy. Why? Soul is not there. If the soul is not there, the body is dead. If the soul is not there, the mind is dead. Correct? The soul ke bina to, and so body is just a covering. Correct? It's like a dress. जैसे हमने मैंने कपड़े पहनाए अभी है ना? It is like a dress on the soul. So this is nothing. It's just an instrument. Like I am seeing through these glasses. Similarly, these eyes which I have, they are just instruments. There is no vision in them. The vision is actually coming through the subtle body, right? So it's very subtle. So basically क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे? Your body is a dead matter. It cannot enjoy on its own unless and until the soul is there. Soul नहीं है तो जीवन ही नहीं है उसमें. It's not living at all. So unless the soul is there, the body cannot enjoy its own, right? So you might say कि नहीं तो फिर वो combination है soul, body, mind एक तरह से सही है. But the point here is the actual point which I want to try was the body is enjoying because the soul is thinking मैं जो भी soul हूँ मैं I'm not Anand. Anand is a temporal thing, right? Anand का जो soul है it is thinking in the mind कि this is Anand. ये body मैं हूँ ये this is his assumption and that's why the soul is thinking I'm enjoying. Actually में body भी enjoy नहीं कर रहा है, soul भी enjoy नहीं कर रहा है, mind भी enjoy नहीं कर रहा है. But ये तीनों को combination होके the soul is thinking I am this body because of the illusion covering के कारण, and that's why it is thinking it's enjoying. Actually में कुछ enjoyment है ही नहीं. Are you getting the point or still there's some confusion?
So there's still a confusion. Like the point we are thinking is like the body is enjoying the thing, means like it is
Correct.
interacting with the thing. But
Correct.
now you told like without soul it cannot interact with that thing. But
Correct.
that is but that was not our question, right? Our question was whether body is interacting with that thing, is enjoying the thing.
हाँ,
So
that's
if
what I'm
we
saying. Enjoy कौन कर रहा है? Soul कर रहा है कि body कर रहा है कि mind कर रहा है? अभी if we said body is enjoying, without the soul the body cannot enjoy. Correct? Which means
Yeah, but
because
sir, but we are not including soul in this discussion because soul is the ultimate thing. It will overpower your mind also and body also. So the
Yes.
question here was just whether we are interacting with that gulab jam through body or mind.
interact की
Because
बात ही नहीं कर
soul
रहा हूँ. I'm saying
doesn't have feelings at all.
who is enjoying or who is feeling the distress, because we are coming to the point where we are saying whatever material things happen, they actually should not bother us. That is the point I'm trying to come, right? So basically whatever is happening, you are eating or you are enjoying or you are feeling distress is because of the illusion that you are the body. If you remove this illusion that you are not this body, right, or you are this body, right, then this enjoyment and distress will be gone. The only reason you are enjoying is you are feeling I am this body. Imagine na, when you eat something nice, you feel good, correct? That is why are you feeling good? Because in the mind, you are thinking I am the body or body ke liye acha lag raha hai, right? When somebody says, oh, Rishikesh is very beautiful, why are you happy? How do they know you're beautiful? Because they are looking at your body and they're saying you're beautiful. Actually, you are not this body, right? But then why should you feel happy about it? Because all of us, not only you, all of us are thinking, I am this body. That's why we decorate so much, right? So with the relationship, or not relationship, the point that we are relating to the body, we are thinking I am this body, that is where the illusion is coming. And that's why we are thinking this is happiness and this is distress. That's why people are differentiating between friends and enemies. उनको लगता है कि ये मेरा friend है, ये नहीं. Actually में कोई भी नहीं है. क्यों? क्योंकि we are all eternal part and parcel of God, and all of us are souls, and all of us are part of God. So अगर सब लोग ही part and parcel of God है, तो how can there be enemies and friends? It is all on the bodily platform. This is the point I want to drive. Correct? कि our illusion that the soul is got a covering on top of it, which is the subtle body, mind, intelligence, and ego. The mind is actually a material thing, and it is actually giving an illusion to the soul you are this body, and that's why we are thinking, हाँ मैं body हूँ, मैं enjoy कर रहा हूँ. I drink, I eat, I do all sort of things with the body, and that's why I think I'm enjoying. Actually, में ऐसा कुछ है ही नहीं, because you are not the body, you are the soul. The soul and the matter are totally different things. It is like water and oil. अगर oil और water mix किया तो नहीं mix होगा. Similarly, if you give a material thing to the soul doesn't enjoy because they're totally different. But why are we enjoying? We are enjoying because the soul is thinking, because of the mind, that I am this body. And as soon as this assumption comes, then we think, हाँ ये मेरा है, ये दूसरे का है, ये मैं enjoy कर रहा हूँ, ये मुझे दुख हो रहा है. All of this is at the material level. Spiritual level पे there's nothing. There's no happiness, there's no distress from a material standpoint. But when you actually perform bhakti, when you chant Krishna's name, when you read Bhagavad Gita, right, there is some happiness we feel, and that is spiritual. That is what the soul is looking for. ये material happiness के पीछे वो soul नहीं है. But we are thinking कि नहीं, उसको material happiness चाहिए, सुंदर दिखना चाहिए, सुंदर girlfriend होना चाहिए, सुंदर boyfriend होना चाहिए, right? We need to get good food, we need to be able to roam around. This is on the body platform. But हम body है ही नहीं. Yes, is there a question? Okay, I'm getting a question. Right? So it is, I know it's not very easy to understand this philosophy, but try to understand what I'm trying to say. Krishna is saying, tolerate happiness and distress. How do you tolerate? Unless you understand this philosophy that whatever is happening around us, जो भी हमारे आसपास हो रहा है, सब कुछ body से related है, और हम body नहीं हैं. If you understand the philosophy, then you can, you can manage any distress. You can manage any level of problems in our life. It will not be problems because we are all relating our body to the problems. The moment you take off the body out of the picture and you think ये distress नहीं है, you will never be distressed. Right? Now you might say कि नहीं, पर हमको कभी-कभी hurt होता है, we get hurt because of something, and वो pain होता है, उसको कैसे बोल सकते हैं? Obviously there will be pain, but now when we understand this philosophy, then we can go deeper and deeper, and we try to separate ourselves from the soul and the body, and then we can be much more peaceful like that. Okay, so I'll stop here to see if there are any questions, because this is a little difficult to understand. I know you might have some questions, so we'll stop here to see if anybody has got any questions. No questions? Okay, so I'll give a couple of examples and you'll understand it better. So Hiranyakashipu, he was performing austerities. He was standing on one foot like this for about 10,000 years. Right? You might say, ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है? करते थे, पहले they had a lot of powers. I told you before as well. So he was performing austerities for 10,000 years. Now a lot of ants came, insects came, and he ate entire body, पूरा body खा लिया. Right? To the extent his only body, what was remaining was only the skeleton. पूरा skeleton था, और the soul and the mind was remaining only of the skeleton. उतना ही था. When Brahma came looking for Hiranyakashipu, we could not find him. He was covered by the entire anthill. Now, if we are the body was eaten, so Hiranyakashipu should have died. But नहीं मरा वो. क्यों? Because we are not body, we are soul. So soul और जो subtle body था वो जिंदा था. They were encaged in the skeleton. And when Brahma came, he sprinkled some water, amrit, and then he regained another body. Correct? Which again shows कि हम लोग body नहीं है. Correct? That's one example. There was Dhruva Maharaj. He was fasting from everything. कुछ नहीं खाया उसने for many days, right? And he was living without, only on air. सिर्फ हवा पी के खा रहा था. हवा, he was only living on the air. That's all. अब कैसे possible है? It's possible because the body, obviously he was performing austerities and he had much strength. That's why he could do that. But the point here is, the body is just an external covering, right? For example, अगर ये मेरा कुर्ता फट जाए, and if I start, मेरे कुर्ता फट गया रे, क्या करूँ मैं, right? It's exactly like that. When our body actually is torn or we get hurt, we cry for the body. Actually कुछ नहीं हुआ है, आपके सिर्फ कुर्ता फट गया है. But because we are in illusion, we are thinking, अरे यार ये मेरा job चले गया, या मुझे ये problem हो गया, मुझे problem. Because we are thinking on the bodily platform, we are actually distressed. As soon as gradually you keep removing this identity, when you understand that I am body, I'm not body, and soul. जैसे जितना ज्यादा हम अंडरस्टैंड करेंगे उतना ज्यादा our distress is going to become reduced a lot, right? तब तक डिस्ट्रेस नहीं जाएगा, बिकॉज एवरीथिंग इज प्लेड ऑन द बॉडी प्लेटफॉर्म. सब कुछ जो हो रहा है आसपास सब मैटर में है, and the soul is nothing to do with it, but we are thinking in my body like that, right? So that hopefully should clarify. If not, then I'll next time give more examples. But it is very, very important to understand this. This is the crux of the stress to smiles. If you understand this, then you will be smiling all the time. आपको स्ट्रेस होगा ही नहीं, क्योंकि क्या स्ट्रेस होना है ना, ये टेम्पररी लाइफ है, सोल इटर्नल है, सोल को कुछ होना ही नहीं है. तो व्हाई शुड बी वरी अबाउट द छोटा मोटा चीज. सैलरी काटोगे तो कोई बात नहीं, थोड़ा कम ऑस्टेरिटी करके जिंदा करेंगे, क्या उसको प्रॉब्लम. लाइक दैट यू शुड बी एबल टू टेल द माइंड कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं हुआ है, चिंता मत कर. तो एटलीस्ट आई वांट अ जॉब, you tell the mind कि मेरे को जॉब तो है कम से कम. There are so many people who have not got job, right? Or you should tell the mind कि भाई you should at least have all the bodily organs intact. You're at least able to eat something, drink something. You're able to live. There are so many people who don't even get food. There are beggars who don't get food. So like that, if you tell the mind will become I think I'm better than so many people, and I'll be peaceful. Okay. So we'll stop here. If there are any questions, you can ask. Otherwise, we can take up. Okay, if you don't have a question, you can just type no in the chat window. So I know you're listening. Okay, 1, 2, Devendra and Ashwini. Okay. Okay. Good. So next time we'll do a surprise quiz. It's not no more a surprise because I already told you. But I'll ask you some questions which will help me understand whether you understand this. So this is very important philosophy, so I don't want to rush on this. The more you understand, the better for you guys. Okay, thank you so much. I hope you are all of you are chanting because one of the most important aspects of stress management is you should be chanting. The more you chant, the more relief you'll feel, and the more you'll be free from the stress. Okay. So chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. As much as you can. That will actually, the more you chant, the more you'll feel better. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week again. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Anant. Bye-bye.